Hey, look at this. This is my transformation from when I left the gym world and started using a suspension trainer, resistance band, and my own body weight from home. And I achieved these results because I began following 7 proven steps that took my training to a whole new level. When I let go of my gym ego and I focused on learning and practicing these 7 steps, everything changed for me. I was able to build lean muscle and functional strength better than I ever had before. And these same steps have also helped over 8,000 busy professionals in the fitness freedom athletes community transform their bodies. So if you're looking to boost your muscle mass and functional strength with bodyweight, bands, suspension training, or whatever fitness tool you're using, follow along as I take you through the 7 steps that work for me and thousands of others. Now, there's a big difference in how people exercise to transform their bodies. It comes down to 2 techniques: movement-centric technique and muscle-centric technique. And it's something that can make or break your results. If your goal is to build lean muscle effectively from each workout, you want to practice muscle-centric technique, which is step 1. So let's break down why. With movement-centric technique, you don't think about moving, you just move. Running is a form of movement-centric technique, so is cycling or an aerobics class. The body wants to be efficient. It wants to use as many muscles as possible to move a load because it's easier. And that's fantastic teamwork by the body, and it's great for everyday life or for sports like powerlifting, but it's not the most effective way to build muscle when you want to get the most from each workout because the load is shared. Multiple muscles are helping to move your body weight load, so no single muscle takes enough load to cause a large muscle growth stimulus. They all get a shared, weaker stimulus. Back in my gym days, I used to do movement-centric technique with weights all the time because I only focused on trying to lift heavy and trying to do as many reps as I could, simply just so I'd look good. So long as I got the weight up, I just didn't care. And it's probably the reason why I picked up so many injuries and never really transformed my body shape much. But when you perform muscle-centric technique, you focus on that specific muscle area you want to target. Isolate it and don't allow other muscles to help out. By using a slow, controlled technique and your mind-muscle connection to squeeze the muscle powerfully throughout the entire range of motion, trying purposely to put the majority of the load onto that single muscle. In this instance, the load is our body weight. And when you isolate a muscle and put all the load onto it, you get a powerful growth stimulus because the target muscle has to do all the work. Take a basic push-up as an example, right? In a regular push-up, when you're just pushing up and down without thinking about it, the chest, shoulders, triceps share the work and help out. That's a form of movement-centric technique. But by consciously pressing your hands together on the floor as you press up and down, you shift more of your body weight load directly onto your chest area because that action helps to isolate the chest area and place it under constant tension, creating a muscle-centric effect. A muscle is much weaker when isolated on its own like this, so you can use lighter loads like just your body weight with a suspension trainer to create a powerful muscle growth stimulus. I've seen clients reduce or eliminate joint pain and even improve the posture when switching from heavy weights to a muscle-centric lighter load technique because it involves lighter loads and a focus on perfect form. It supports healthy joints and balanced muscle growth. And that's only the beginning. A major component of muscle-centric technique is step 2, using your mind-muscle connection, which I call the squeeze. Now, members of the Fitness Freedom Athletes community know it well because I bring it up constantly. It's that important. When you apply your mind-muscle connection or the squeeze, you're focusing your mind entirely on the muscle you're working and making a conscious effort to contract it powerfully with control throughout the entire range of motion. This approach takes your workouts from just mindlessly going through the motions to physically feeling your muscles stretch, contract and lengthen. Now, why is it important? Well, most people are only half present during a workout, right? Their thoughts wander at things like their day, their to-do list, or they're counting reps. But when you channel your attention to the squeeze of the muscle you're targeting throughout the entire workout, it becomes a form of meditation. Meditation is just focusing on one thing for an extended period of time. If you don't focus on anything else except your body and the muscle you are training, you are meditating. And we all know the huge benefits of meditation, right? You're fully in the moment when you use your mind-muscle connection, completely focused on the muscle at work. And the result from that? You get better quality movement, improved muscle growth, and a stronger mind-body connection. Studies show that even professional bodybuilders only reach 50 to 60% of contracting a muscle's full potential, or the squeeze. Now, us normal guys and girls, we're about 20 to 30%. Just think of the possible gains when you improve this ability. You're not just exercising at this point, you're building holistic control, and over time, this becomes one of the most effective ways to progress in both fitness and mental well-being. One of my clients recently told me, I finally understand what a workout should be and feel like. And that's what we're after here, right? Imagine leaving a workout with confidence, focus, and control over your body and mind. That's the power of the mind-muscle connection. Look, I know this stuff sounds woo-woo, right? I used to think so too, but it really is a game changer. And if you read Frank Zane's autobiography or Dorian Yates, they talk about this form of meditation in workouts, using your body to master your mind. And look, it may be woo-woo, but if it's gonna help me grow my little chicken legs, I'll take it. And that's when step 3 comes into play. Don't work harder, work smarter. One of the biggest mistakes I see in the fitness industry is this focus on working hard and pushing yourself to extremes. Hard work doesn't necessarily equal results. It's more about working smart. Put it this way, if you're trying to learn how to play the guitar and your teacher just told you, just play harder, that would be dumb, right? Because you haven't learned the skills to perform correctly. Training is the same. Before pushing yourself hard, you need to practice and perfect the techniques. Focus on quality before quantity. Focus on doing each exercise movement with precision and control. And the more experience you get, the more you realize that counting reps is less important than quality form. It was certainly a big wake-up call for me. I always tell my clients when they're first starting out that reps are a guide, not a rule. Technique, control, and your connection to the movement should always come first. Now look, don't get me wrong, quantity matters too. It's just that the right quality helps you get the most out of every rep you do. So over time, as you master quality, you'll need less quantity to get the same or even better results. And once you master that, you can then move on to step 4, which is get uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Sounds a bit crazy, right? But discomfort plays a huge part of real muscle growth. Muscle building and transformations don't come from staying in your comfort zone. Now, I'm not talking about discomfort from injury or from poor form. I'm talking about the phrase, the mind gives up before the body, which is so true, right? So you get more comfortable and confident in your exercise technique and you start to feel that burn. That's not a signal to stop. It's actually an opportunity to push forward and explore the feeling. Think of it like a fuel gauge on a car, right? When you're low on fuel, the warning light comes on, but you still have about 30 to 50 miles to go, right? It's the same when you feel a discomfort in your muscles. Your mind wants to stop, but your muscles are capable of much more. Try pushing through it and explore the feeling, see where it takes you, because going beyond that feeling is where serious growth lies. Now, when you move on to step 5, it's about the attention to detail, and I call it stretch and squeeze for mobility. A common issue I've seen clients face when trying to build muscle is limited mobility. Most of the time this is due to muscle imbalances, and what's always the first thought for it? I need a stretch. But it's not just a sign of tightness, it's more a sign of weakness. Muscles work in pairs, and when one muscle or group of muscles is stronger than its opposing muscles, your mobility suffers because you've got one side pulling harder than the other. So you get an imbalance. You can solve this in your workouts. Focus on fully lengthening, stretching, and fully contracting, squeezing, each muscle in every single rep. It's known as taking a muscle through its full range of motion. Resist the urge to do partial movements, okay? This full stretch and squeeze approach promotes healthy, balanced muscle growth that keeps you moving efficiently. And by taking each muscle through its full range of motion with control, you're not only increasing muscle growth, but also working to prevent injuries by building balanced strength in opposing muscles. And this will improve your mobility over time. Then we move on to step 6, slow down for time under tension. Time under tension is your muscle's best friend for growth. It's not always about the number of reps, it's about how long the muscle is under constant tension within those reps. This is why slower reps with better control often lead to better results. Take a suspension trainer chest press, for example. Which do you think is more effective for building muscle? Doing 16 chest press reps with each rep taking 2 seconds, or doing 8 chest press reps with each one taking 6 seconds? Now, a lot of people would have gone for 16 reps over 8 reps, but if we look at the maths and science, doing 16 reps with each rep taking 2 seconds equals 32 seconds that the muscle is placed under tension for. Doing 8 reps with each rep taking 6 seconds equals 48 seconds that the muscle is placed under tension for. If science tells us that muscle is built from time under tension, then performing number 2, 8 reps, is the most effective route. Here's where the mind-muscle connection comes back into play. When you slow down each rep, you're able to keep that muscle engaged under constant tension. This leads to stronger and healthier muscle development. In my own journey, this was a game changer. When I started focusing on time under tension and slowing every rep right down, I saw a noticeable difference in muscle quality compared to lifting heavy and swinging all over the place, doing reps as fast as I could for my ego. Slowing down is a skill that takes practice, but the results can be awesome, especially with a suspension trainer. But then I am biased towards that. Now answer me this, do you sometimes pause for a brief second during a set, maybe at the top of a squat or a curl? We've all done it, right? Our body naturally looks for ways to conserve energy, so our mind tells us to take a break. But your body is capable of much more than you think, and that's why we move on to step 7. Ignore the voice in your head. The key to mastering muscle endurance and improving muscle growth is learning to push past that internal voice. When you feel yourself wanting to pause, remind yourself that it's just your brain's natural safety mechanism. Your muscles are far from exhausted. It's a simple step, but such a common one. Even to this day, I constantly find myself taking a tiny break before doing another 2 final reps. I didn't need to, it was my mind automatically making me. Practicing this skill and being aware of it will not only help you build more muscle, but also strengthen your mental resilience. Recognizing and ignoring ignoring that voice that says stop and rest is a practice that I found can help push your body further than you thought possible, but not at the detriment of sacrificing form. Quality over quantity, as we've discussed. And look, since we've got this far, there's a final bonus step I want to throw at you. Close your mouth, and that's step 8. Practice to use just nasal breathing during your workouts. It improves circulation due to increased nitrogen in your blood, and it also increases your body's ability to produce ATP, which in simple terms means your body becomes better at performing high amounts of work while burning fat as the primary energy source. It's a big win, right? Now, how does nasal breathing achieve this? Your body is more efficient at oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange with nasal breathing because it uses more lobes of your lungs. This means more oxygen available in your cardiovascular system, then more oxidization of fat cells for energy and more CO2 breathed out. Real sciencey, right? To keep it simple, view nasal breathing as gears to use to optimize your body and performance. Here's how I like to think about it. Gear 1, nasal breathing only. Attempt to live your entire life just nasal breathing, from day-to-day activities and in your workouts. Mouth closed, tongue to the roof of your mouth, for jaw alignment with slow breaths in and out. Gear 2, nose in, mouth out. There will be times when you simply can't only breathe through your nose, like often during a leg workout. Exercises like pistol squats are very demanding on your cardiovascular system. In this instance, when intensity increases, look to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And finally, gear 3, mouth breathing. Save this for intense moments like HIIT workouts or high cardio. It's a small tweak, but it compounds to make a big difference. Now, obviously, nutrition plays a large role in building muscle and transforming your body. So I've put a link to some nutrition videos below that you may find helpful to go with these 7 steps. And these steps also set the foundation for my suspension trainer body transformation programs, which you can also check out below if you're interested. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and give that like button a hit for me. And you'll also probably find this video useful too, because it's the one YouTube has automatically picked out for you as being the best one. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.